The Winchester 94, and this is the Trapper carbine model. It's a little bit different than your standard Winchester 94. This one here has a 16-inch barrel, is in .44 Magnum, holds 9 shots, or 9 rounds. This particular model, I believe it came out in the 80s. It was made in .30-30, which would be a 5-shot, 357 Magnum, 44 Magnum, which this is, and 45 Colt. Now this here gun is, I bought this gun a very long time ago, and I kind of bought it just to have a companion to my 44 Magnum because I reloaded a lot of cartridges for that. And basically that's what I shoot in it, is I reloaded pistol ammo. Now this 94, like I said, has 16-inch barrel, and this is now 94s Winchesters over the years they've changed. This is one of the probably the most popular civilian-made rifle there ever was, and still is. And there's been several changes. The pre-64 models, which you'll hear people refer to, is when all the parts were machined and milled, where some of these are, after 1964, the parts are stampings or whatever. There was some engineering changes there. And then I'm not quite sure, this gun here is what they call the angle eject. We'll go over that part first. And what it is it's drilled and tapped for a scope mount, so you can put a top scope mount. The older ones would have to have a scope mounted off to the side. And the hammer has a little hole in it where you can attach a thumb piece, so if you did mount a scope on this, you'd have something to pull the hammer back with. And it is also it's stamped on the barrel, AE, or angle eject, because I guess the originals would flip a cartridge straight up, and then they redesigned it to where your extractor's here, and then the cartridge would come out at an angle from the gun. This was a design Winchester made so you can mount a scope on top of this lever action rifle at one point in time. Another feature about this gun, which is an older Winchester, is it doesn't have the cross bolt safety, which usually is found in here somewhere. This is still an old Winchester, and I believe the safety features on the real old Winchesters was you had like a half-cock position or something. Well, this has what you call a rebounding hammer. Okay, where unless the trigger's pulled, it won't go all the way forward. Where I think the old Winchesters were like a single-shot pistol, you had a half-cock notch or something, I'm not quite sure. But this is the one with the rebounding hammer. And the other safety feature we'll look at on these older Winchesters, and the reason they kind of got rid of it, is this little tab right here. Now what that is that's a safety feature. When you close it down, even when it's cocked, you see it's not depressing it. The hammer hangs back a little. And with a loaded round in, the gun wouldn't go off. If you squeeze the grip down and depress that little thing, the gun fires. That was one of the original safety features of Winchester. So unless you had the grip down, the gun would not fire. Plus you had your half cock and everything else. Well, I guess over time that wasn't good enough, and there were accidental shootings, so a newer one will have a cross bolt, a button here which safely locks the gun in that, but not on this model. I've had this for quite a long time. I guess 1992 is when they put the cross bolt in, so this gun I must have picked up in the late 80s or real early in 1990. I think I bought this. But it's a neat little gun. It's lightweight. And another thing about these is they got the saddle ring on them, on the other side. You got your saddle ring. And it's just your basic, other than that, other than these little modifications and features, it's just the Winchester 94. All the internal parts and everything are the same. It's plain walnut stock. And unfortunately, guns aren't made in the U.S. anymore. Sad thing to say, but it's a neat little gun. I like it because it's lightweight. It's a close range gun. 75 yards, you know, you can hit with it, but other than that, I really wouldn't go any farther than that. With any, you know, you probably could, but with any type of good accuracy or whatever. You know, up close, 25, 50 yards, dead on. It's got Buckhorn Sights. And I'm going to have some videos where I shoot this. Take a look at the sights. And if you can see, it's just a standard little ramp in there. That thing's ratcheted all the way up. There are screws here where you can loosen the screws, I think, and move this up and down, I believe. See if we can get a better look at that zooming in. I just noticed that there's screws here, so you could probably shift this rear sight up and down for elevation that way. I didn't do it, I just have it ramped up, the little ramp, all the way to the max. And at 25 yards, I'm shooting pretty dead on. 50 yards, I shoot low, you know, a good 6 or so inches. So it's not a long-range match gun, but it's a pretty handy, lightweight gun. In 44 Magnum or 45 Colt, you're lobbing a pretty good-sized heavy lead bullet, you know, for hunting or anything, you know. Probably pretty good. I mean, 44 is pretty big for small game. You hit something with that, you're going to kill it. But for varmints, pests, or even self-defense, if you live in an area where you can't get handguns, the 16-inch barrel, this lightweight rifle, good self-defense weapon around the house or whatever, you know, be excellent. Plus, back then, cowboy action wasn't a huge thing. At least I don't think it was. I didn't know much about it back then. I just bought this to have the old Western. I got a pistol and I like a little carbine that has the same caliber. And I reloaded a lot for the 44 Magnum, so that's why I got this rifle. I had a regular full-size rifle in .30-30, and I can never get a hand load or the right bullet to shoot with it well enough. And I did sell it when I moved to a fellow that wanted it for deer hunting. And I think that was an angle eject too. I had 2 of these at one time, 2 94s, but I kept this little one because it's a neat little gun, fun to shoot, up close, pretty powerful, pretty accurate. You can mount a scope on it if you want. And you know, it's just your standard, you know, Winchester action. They're well-made guns. Winchester's quality, finish, and fit, you know, years ago, all of them. It's a nice gun, high quality, and I thought I'd give it a little review of the Winchester Trapper 94 angle eject carbine. And we'll do a few videos where we shoot it.